This is Emma Wright with YourAuthorBusiness.com. Today we will walk through how you would use Createspace, set it up, and upload your manuscript and decide if you would like to go with the standard or the expanded distribution. There are pros and cons to using the expanded distribution, which I will touch upon later after the tutorial. But the advantage of going with the expanded distribution is that you will get your physical book in the library system as well as in bookstores. So let's get started. To have your book printed on Amazon, you need to go to Createspace, which is the print arm of Amazon. If you don't already have an account, you need to create one with Createspace. If you have an Amazon account and if you write under your regular name, then you can use the same account by logging in. However, if you are setting up a new account or if you have a pen name, this is how you would do it. You would click Createspace, click sign up, fill out this information whereby you put down the email address you want to be connected to and all the information in. And then once you've done that and you create it and you've chosen the country that you're from, also what type of media you're choosing. Since I'm doing this for authors, you'd be under books and you go create my account. You'll be able to log in. You will be brought to this page, add new title. Once you click on new title, you'd have to place the name of the title here. Make sure you click on paperback. They do not have a hardcover option. You have the option to do a guided setup or an expert setup. I would suggest that you do the guided setup because that will walk you through step by step what you need to do. Once you've placed the name of your project, you just click the get started. It'll bring you to the next page. Put in the information, title of the project that you put in. So you may want to have a little bit more description. If you are writing a nonfiction book, the subtitle is where, let's say you have a really catchy title which doesn't really tell very much, say Google the Oogle, and it's basically about how Google is spying on all of us and oogling us. So you might say, this is how Google spies on you and you should beware, or something like that, or find out how Google is spying on you and how to avoid this. This is just an example, of course. I'm not saying that Google's actually spying on us, which they could be since they read all our emails. If you're not sure, you can click on what is this, and it basically explains to you what you can do with this. Next thing, put in the author. Once you've placed the author name, if you want to add an editor, or if you have maybe people who drew maps and stuff like that, you can just add. It just keeps on adding it. A box will come up for each one. The series title and the volume would be like if this is first book, second book, and the edition will be first, assuming this is your first book ever. And this is the publication date. Again, if you're not sure about anything, you just click on what's this. Once you hit save and continue, we'll be brought to this next page. And this is where you decide if you want it to have a free ISBN or if you would like to have your own ISBN. This is a custom ISBN. I've never really tried this, but this is $99. I would suggest that you either use the free ISBN or the provide your own ISBN. If this is your first book ever, or if this is the first book that you're doing in terms of a print book and you've had other ebooks, I would suggest you use the free ISBN first. If your book is a raving success, you can always just change and add in your own ISBN. And then what you need to do is you need to distribute through Ingram Sparks as opposed to Createspace, because Ingram Sparks will actually give you better distribution options than Createspace does. And also, if you're wanting to get into bookstores as well as libraries, it's better to go through Ingram Spark, because most bookstores do not want to deal with an ISBN that's purchased through Amazon, because they consider Amazon their competitors, and of course Amazon has been stealing their customers. If you want to get into bookstores and deal with the returnables and all those kinds of things, then you have to purchase your own ISBN. If you read through the notes that I have below, you will find that I have information on where to get your ISBN and what are the pros and cons of getting your own ISBN and getting your distribution through Ingram Sparks as opposed to Createspace. Let's say I'm just going to have my free ISBN, and you click on assign free ISBN. Straight away, what Createspace does is that it will give you an expanded distribution, and an expanded distribution is actually okay at the start. Later on, if you want to distribute your books through Ingram Sparks, you'll have to go in and essentially tell Amazon that you do not want to use the expanded distribution anymore, and then you just send them an email directly. And all this information, again, will be in this tutorial in the notes that I provided. So the next step is you go to continue.
And this is the ISBN, the 13 ISBN number and the 10 ISBN number. And one quick tip also is that if you were to buy your ISBN, please go to Bowker directly, as if you're in the US, as opposed to the other ISBN sellers, because I have author friends who've done that and they think that they can save like $10. In the end, everything they bought was useless. So please go to Bowker and just pay the money. And also, it would be advisable to buy a pack of 10. It makes just more economical sense. And also, if you want it to your book to be reprinted, you would need a new ISBN number. Also, if you have them in other languages, you would need new ISBNs for those as well. Hit continue. Then here you decide what kind of book cover interior that you want. Mine would be a color. And this is where you will choose the trim size that you want. So for instance, mine would be different from this one. The book that I have is for children, and I have the whole series is just like square books. So I want to also choose a square book. So this is the square book that I've chosen. You can also have the option to have them do the professional interior design for your book. I'm just going to upload my own book file, and you click on browse, and this is where you will choose your book file and upload your book file from here. Once you've done that, you go to save, and it'll bring you to the next page. A few more things before we progress onto the cover and the complete setup. You can actually download a Word template from them. You can either have a blank template or the formatted template. So if you do the formatted template and you have downloaded it, all you need to do is copy and paste onto each individual page that they've given you. If you were to click the manufacturing costs, it'll bring you to this page. You can calculate how much your book will actually cost. And then this way you can figure out how much the book should be selling for, or rather how much you should price your book. So let's say if I were to do a full color 8.25 by 8.25 and I have say 25 pages, let's say I put on 26 pages, hit calculate, it will tell you it'll cost me $3.65 for each book. If you wanted to order the books, how much they are, let's say if I want to order 10 copies and the country that you want to send it to, it will tell you that it'll cost you $8 with standard shipping. These are the expedited and the priority. So it really depends on where you're sending it to. So this is one way you can do it to determine the cost of your book before you even publish it. The next thing I want to also go through with you is the distribution channels. Now, if you choose only the standard distribution, it will be distributed to all the Amazon.com in US and also in Europe and the Createspace platforms that Amazon have. You must bear in mind it will not come up in Australia because Australia doesn't have physical space, physical warehouse for Amazon. If you want your books to be, say, distributed in a physical form in Australia, you would have to go through Ingram Sparks, as I've explained earlier. And then the other thing also is that your expanded distribution will go through bookstores and online retailers, library and academic institutions, and as well as Createspace Direct. But one thing to bear in mind is if you want Createspace to distribute your book, your physical book, to libraries and academic institutions, you have to use their ISBN and not your own ISBN. For the others, you can use your own or theirs. But for the libraries and academic institutions, you would want to use theirs. So because of this, some authors who feel that they want to have their books in libraries and academic institutions, they may not choose expanded distribution. My advice is that if this is your first book, if you haven't had very much traction, and if you're still testing the waters with more books coming out, to just use the expanded distribution that they have. This will cost you nothing. Your ISBN will be free. You can test the market. And in the words of the marketing genius, Jay Abraham, he always says, life is a test. So test out things first. And if it works, you go on. If it doesn't work, you need to tweak and change. And because this is nothing is set in stone, even if you use expanded distribution, you are not set to just use the expanded distribution. You can always go back, rewind, and have your book distributed through Ingram Sparks. Okay, once you've uploaded your manuscript, which was probably a Word doc or a PDF, onto your Createspace platform, your next step is to upload your cover. So you need to select if you want it to have a matte or a glossy cover. If you're writing a children's book, or most books, I would say choose a glossy cover. There might be instances whereby you want to choose a matte cover, and you can later on order the samples to see which one would be more suitable for you. So once you've done that, the next thing is to decide whether you want to build your own cover or have them professionally designed for you for $400. US, or you can upload your own PDF cover. I just want to show you what it's like if you were to click on this. If you say build your own cover, you can launch your own cover creator. I've actually tried to use the cover creator and I'm not too happy with it. It's very stilted and very inflexible. There is actually a better option, and I'm going to show you how you can actually create your own cover using Canva. And real quick, I want to show you, see all these little templates that Canva has. These are much more flexible, and although these are for ebook, there is a way whereby you can use them for print covers as well. And then, for instance, if yours is a nonfiction, you can click on nonfiction and they will have a set of templates ready for nonfiction books. You can just click on them. It's a matter of just clicking. Once it's on, it's a matter of clicking and figuring out what element you want to change. It's really simple. Once you have your cover ready, upload a print ready PDF cover. You browse to what you have, you upload it in the PDF form, and then you hit save. Once you hit save, you will be brought to this where it'll tell you the title of the book, the ISBN number, what kind of book it is, the size, the color pages, the interior file, which I have not uploaded for this one. Neither have I uploaded the cover, but I wanted to show you what this will look like once you've already put in all the information and uploaded the covers as well as the interior pages. It will take them about 24 hours to approve your submission. It says the PDF submission requirements are right here. If you have any questions, you can also contact them directly, and they are pretty good at emailing you back and letting you know if your interior and the cover has passed the test. After you've done this, you just basically hit review, and if you open up the review button, there's the file review and as well as the proof review whereby you can actually order. So let's take a look at that. So there are two ways to proof your copy. One is through the digital proofreader. Once you click that, you have the option to look at it online, or you can download a PDF proof. So I'm just going to do it so I can show you. The other way is if you wanted to download a custom generated PDF proof. To take a look at what the PDF proof looks like once you download it, this is essentially what it's like. The white space is where it will be cut off. So you'll be at where the border is right now. And then this way you can print it out or just use your computer, making sure that it is exactly as how you want it. The pagination is correct. That's just the way it is. It's a good idea to get this as you want it. You have to make sure that, your last end pages are all fine, and they usually do not have the page numbers as you have with the regular pages. So once you've done that, if you wanted to take a look at just the digital proof, and if you do not have the Adobe, you can just click download and it will download the reader onto your computer. Createspace Online digital proof requires an up-to-date version of the Adobe Flash plugin. So I don't have the latest one, so you can just go to Adobe. But the problem is that when I went there, it didn't really give me the page that I want. So you can just do a search. Download Adobe Flash Player for Chrome, for Mac. So I'm just going to download one for Mac because I'm using my Mac right now. So this is the Mac version, and I will just select the version that I want. Now that I've downloaded the latest Adobe Flash Player, I can now click on digital proof. You should be able to proof the book on your computer directly. Once you've proofed the book, you can continue on, and then it'll take Createspace about 24 hours to approve your book. Meantime, you can actually go to the sales channel and decide what kind of pricing that you want to go through, the kind of channels that you want to go through. But you also need to go through this as well, which is to give a description. The BISAC, if you click on this, it'll tell you what BISAC is called the Book Industry Standards and Communications Categories. You need to decide what kind of category it needs to go into. They give you several options. If you click on choose, it'll tell you what kind of category that you want, and it'll prompt you accordingly. Mine is a children's book. It's under juvenile. It'll ask you what grade it's for. Then this is your biography, country of publications. You click on save and continue. So the other things that we want to go through real quick are here. Number one, the channel your book will be distributed to. This is for the standard distribution. You can uncheck any one of them if you don't want them to be distributed, say, to Europe. You can deselect whichever one you want. But again, bear in mind, if you do not use Createspace ISBN, you do not have this option. And then you click save and continue. You also want to go through pricing and decide what the pricing is for your book for the different stores. You can let CreateSpace decide for you. Let's say if I put $19.99, it'll calculate as to how much it should be in Great Britain and how much it would be in euros. Or you can also put in yourself, and then they'll calculate for you. And this is the royalties for $20. This is quite astonishing. But if you were to sell your book for $20, Amazon will give you a $4.28 royalty. If somebody buys through the CreateSpace e-store, you'll get $8.28. I would imagine that most people don't even know about the CreateSpace e-store. I mean, I didn't until, not too long ago. And then through expanded distribution, you only make 28 cents on $19.99. But for Amazon Europe, you can actually make a little bit more, and also through Great Britain. So next step is click save and continue. And then the last one would be under sales and marketing. I wanted to go through with this. CreateSpace also gives you the option to publish your book on Kindle directly from their CreateSpace platform. So this will save you the hassle of having to reformat your book, and so they will do it for you. I, however, have never gone through this method just because I like to go through KDP myself and also through CreateSpace separately. So you may choose to do this. If you're starting out and you're starting with your print book, you may want to do this. So you can click no thanks, or I want to publish my book on Kindle. I can't do it because I already have it on KDP. If I were to have submitted a Word doc, then I wouldn't have received this information. The reason why I did it with PDF is because mine has illustrations and I did not want the illustrations to go wonky if I were to just submit a Word doc. You have this. You can either transfer and convert your CreateSpace interior file through them, or you may want to just do a separate one and submit it directly to KDP, which was what I did. And if you look under sales and marketing, you can track your sales here. They have marketing services if you wish. They have these options that's given to you. A couple of things I wanted to go through with you before we end this tutorial, and that is to look at the marketing services. If you click on marketing services, you will get onto this page. And the one thing I wanted to bring to mind is the LCCN, which is the Library of Congress number that CreateSpace can get for you for $25. I would say that save your $25 because you can actually get this yourself by going to the Library of Congress on your own. And it's just a matter of filling up a form, and then they will provide you with the LCCN number, which you can actually put behind in the back cover of your book. So it's really a matter of just maybe spending 30 minutes to get your LCCN, and it's not a big deal itself. And it's a good idea to have it if you want to have your book in the Library of Congress, as well as if you would want your book to be in libraries. Libraries do like to have the LCCN included in the books. And also, I suppose if you wanted to have them in schools, that might be an issue as well. It will just take maybe 30 minutes of your time, and these LCCN themselves will actually get back to you within a day and give you the number, and it's free.
So the question is, should you go with IngramSpark or should you go with the Amazon CreateSpace expanded program? It really depends. CreateSpace does a terrific job with Amazon, and CreateSpace also charges less for printing and for setting up than IngramSpark, which will charge you for each and every single time you change your manuscript. If you were just getting started, to start with CreateSpace, make your mistakes, sell your first 1,000 to 2,000 books, and then graduate to using IngramSpark. The other thing also to bear in mind is that Ingram Sparks is the way to go if you want to have your books in other countries. But again, like I said, it will be costly for the setup fees and for the startup fees. But this is something you can bear in mind and graduate to as you progress along. So that's all for now. This is Emma Wright with yourauthorbusiness.com. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, and please subscribe to my channel and visit me again next Tuesday when I'll post the next video. Take care.